Where am I? I'm in the woods. Why am I here? To check on some fencing and some gates. So let's go for a walk. There's one gate. This is a maintenance track. It's a bit muddy, but hey, this is exciting. We're out in the woods. Fresh air. Oh, it's fantastic. It's just me and my phone, my camera. I haven't got the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro with me because I wasn't expecting to be here. But hey ho, let's have a little walk. So let's talk about this, where I'm going. So we're going to a Sangland. Sangland is I've forgotten the abbreviation now, but it's a parcel of land which a building company owns, and it's for the use by the general public once it's ready for dog walking. So all these trees you can see here are softwood trees planted many years ago for farming. So these trees would have been felled and sold for timber and so on, but they're just here now. They're not actually here to be felled to be sold. They're just planted trees. I don't know why. Maybe there isn't enough money in it anymore. But oh my gosh, someone's done an amazing teepee through there. Look at that. Oh, that's fantastic. Anyway, let's continue on our journey through the woods. You can see the chippings here. There were some tree stumps in the ground, and I asked them to cut the tree stumps so that the equipment can drive down here. So this is a maintenance track. This track is here so that if someone wants to maintain the Sangland, then a Land Rover or a 4x4 can come down here with a trailer, bring the equipment, and can carry out any works the Sang that they need to. So let's go through here. Oh, it's lovely. Do you know what? The air smells so fresh. It's lovely. Away from the traffic and the busy road, you can hear the birds in the trees, and it's beautiful. All this wildlife. Can you see the sand deposits in the ground? See, this is quite a nice firm ground because it's sort of sandy and earthy. A lot of the land around here is very clay, but this is lovely soil to walk on because it's really firm. There are some areas that you can see are quite squelchy, but that's because the sand layer is probably further down. I mean, down the road you've got a lot of deep clay for about 5 meters, and then 5 meters down you've got sand deposits. So I mean, to drain water away you need to go down about 5 meters. And here we go, we're coming down to it now. It's a bit jerky, wouldn't it be really? It would be really smooth, hope, with the gimbal if I had it with me. So you've got a lot of ferns here. So obviously there's a lot of moisture in the soil, which is really good. Some holly. There we go. Just a peace and quiet is nice while I'm doing this inspection. I'm not going to tell you where it is because it's confidential at the moment. It's for a housing developer, again for the use of the general public for dog walking. Here we go, look, there's some stone down here which was laid for access so that when the equipment came down here it wouldn't sink in the mud. As you can see, it's quite muddy the further you go in, but because it's for dog walking, the ground will harden, and once it's all leveled off it'll be fine. So we have here another gate, and this is the new fence that's been installed. So let's walk the fence line, because this is a dog-proof fence that's been installed, that we procured. And let's see how far it goes. So all the ditches have been cleared out. It's quite a moist sang area. Again, all these trees were planted years ago for felling and selling all the wood. So this would have originally been native to ash and oak trees, and all these drains facilitate all the water runoff, because the water runs off those fields, comes down through this woods and down through into the corner. So this is one of the paths the dog walkers would be able to go along here. See, the reason why the fence is there is because that divides one piece of land to another. So the ownership of that land to the right is different to the ownership of the land here on my left. So you can see here, look at this, look at all the ditches have been cleared and they're working perfectly fine. That was also something that was asked of by the maintenance contractor. You've got some wonderful bridges that have been installed. So the fence continues on through, but we're going to go this way. We're going to go across the bridge that's been put in. Look at that. Some nice poly pipe and some stone that's been put in. As you can see, it's doing the job that it's designed to do, providing a way for the water to go through. I mean, people forget that you dig these ditches and they're doing what they're designed to do, but they need maintenance. You can't just leave it and expect it to do it forever. They need to be cleared out regularly, every year or so. So those ditches you see alongside the main roads, someone should be clearing them out, because they're taking all the water off of the nearby fields. So you're coming through here, look. See, the dog walkers will come through here. I'm wearing wellies, so I'm not getting stuck. Another bridge coming through here. So the water comes along there from where we've just walked. Can you see? It comes through here, returns, and look, you can see it flowing really well through there. Look at that, the water flowing. Right, so let's have a look. See, dog walkers used to come down from that way, but of course the landowner didn't want that, because they're trespassing on his land. So hence here, well, we've got the fence that goes through and stops here at the ancient monument. See that there, that hill, is actually an ancient monument. And let's talk about this. So years and years and years ago, this land would have been owned by a lord or a lady, and this is part of the deer estate. So the deer would have been driven through here, and the ancient monument would have been something to deter the deer from racing on through into that land that goes beyond. So that when they're chasing the deer with their guns and their dogs on horseback, that would have slowed the deer down, and then have been able to carry on with their sport. But so you can see, dog walkers will go up and over the ancient monument. So that's something that needs to be done there, is to protect that with some geotech and stone, just to cover that, to stop it getting worn down. So I'm going to take some photographs, but this carries on through. What time is it? Let me have a look at my watch. Oh, how much time have we got? We could walk around, couldn't we? Let's have a little walk. You can see there's a lot of ferns, a lot of moss, high moisture content in this sang. I mean, this is just a wooded area, basically, with trees that have been planted in the past. There have trees been cleared, and when you clear clear trees in the woodland, it allows more light to get through to the floor of the wood. Encourages growth of different plants, the fauna and so on. Look at all that moss, look, on that tree. Can you hear all the birds? What a perfect place to be. What a nice job to do. To come around and inspect it. Oh gosh, I can see some more work that's been done. Let's go and have a look. Any trees that have been felled, it's just been asked that they're placed in a position in the woods where it'll encourage nesting of other animals, insects and so on. Create wildlife habitats. And there we go. So what's encouraged here, look, is what we're encouraging now is that path to overgrow, and we're encouraging now the walkers to walk through over this path here, look, over to that crossing. And where we saw those streams earlier that were created by the ditches, they're existing ditches, they've just been cleared. And these bridges are here so that the dog walkers can get over to the other side. Look at that. Fantastic. See, this creates more wildlife. Imagine in the summer when it's really hot and you've still got an element of running water coming down through the ground, because you have to bear in mind it's not just after rainfall, but you'll get water flowing through the layers of the ground. And if there's water running through the sand layer of the soil, it will find its point where it comes out, and that might be back through into these ditches from the fields. You can just see the running water. So all this running water will encourage more of these ferns to grow coming through. Oh, fantastic job they've done with these ditches. So we climbed over all of this when it was really overgrown. Where you couldn't actually see where you were walking properly. But you can see, look, where all the streams meet. Look at all this growth. Let's come down here. So this land is actually used also for access from a campsite to a local pub, which is great. You know, if you're camping nearby, then you'll come through this sang to get to a pub, which is going to be lovely once it's accessible. I mean, this hasn't officially been handed over yet, so it still needs a log bench installed. So part of the brief was to cut down a tree and carve out a log bench, but the company that we employed decided that they were going to buy one and bring it to site that had already been carved out, so that's fine. And the tree that had been felled, they just put it into the woods. All this has just been trimmed, you see, and just left so that people can access the path, because what's important is everywhere is just accessible. So it's not as cold as it was yesterday. See, here's the pathway from the campsite. There are no signs to say where it was or where we are, so that's fine. So they'll come through there, come this way, and that's the way they used to go. But believe it or not, we have to remove those stumps because of health and safety reasons. Apparently it's a risk of slip and fall, and someone may injure themselves. So these have to be just lifted up and put to one side somewhere in the woods. So then people will be encouraged to walk the way, that's the way they used to walk. They'll be encouraged to walk the way we formed, which is back up through the woods. Away we came. What I'm going to do is walk back to the gate at the top of the Sang, and then I'm going to take some photographs of the fence, make sure everyone's happy. Oh, there's some birds, some robins. Let me see if I can zoom in. See them. There he is, right in the middle. Let's see if we can get a bit closer before he flies off. So if I had my gimbal with me, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? Just get a close-up shot and a smooth picture. I bet he's going to far off in a minute as I'm getting close. Where is he? There he is. Just on that branch over there. He's just up there. There he is, he's gone. Let's keep going. You definitely need wellies through this woods. There's actually a pond as well, a natural pond, and we'll get to that. Don't know if we'll be able to go close to it. So you can see that tree's been felled. So they've selected certain trees. They're professionals who know what the trees are, whether they're ill, whether they're dying, to create more growth in the woods. Because if you think about it, if this was being planted to be farmed, and all these trees would have been farmed, then this would be completely clear and replanted. It's just a shame that all the native species, all of the old woods, like the oaks and the ashes, were originally cut down to make room for all of this, all of these softwood trees. All the pines. So I wonder if that's supposed to be laying across here, or whether it's fallen over in a bad storm. Because if we were riding a dog walk, I honestly don't think that should be there, and that should be moved. I might come back and take a photo of that. So where are we now? Oh, I think you can see here, look where they've done a lot of work. Got that lovely wood. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe next time I come back here, I'll bring my gimbal and see how smooth in comparison the recording is. Now there's a pond around here somewhere. Where is it? I think it's around. I think it's around there. I think it's through here. Let's have a little walk. If I suddenly go 5 foot down, I've got to the pond. No, that's just the ditches. The pond must be further along. It's like that Vicar of Dibley episode where she's jumping in the puddles, and then all of a sudden she gets the puddle that's 5 foot deep and disappears. That'll be me in a minute. Let's jump in this muddy puddle, eh? Ready? Oh, no, I haven't fallen. Where's this pond? It's around here somewhere. It's a shame they don't make a feature of it. There's the gate. I see the gate and the fence. It's up there. And the pond, I think. Normally, a telltale sign is where you've got a lot of ferns, because they'll be growing around the edge, like so, you know. Where is it? I can't find it. I obviously don't want to fall in and end up getting stuck. At least I've got my phone on me. Oh look, they've made a little crossing here. Isn't that cute? Just needs a bit of... I mean, that's obviously a ditch. They don't want to discourage water from running through. Oh, I wonder if it's in here. Oh, here we go. That's all these ferns. Oh, look, I found it. Hey guys, I found it. Here's the pond. Don't you love that sound of breaking twigs under your feet? Here it is. Look at that, all this wildlife that are being encouraged in this little pond area here. You can see there's a bit over there as well. So yeah, this will be a managed wood by the developer. I mean, what they would do is set a budget aside. Oh look, there's some water there, so I don't know how deep it is. And there's a big section of water over there as well. I don't really want to start wading through, getting stuck. Oh, look at this bit. So please, I'll put my wellies on. You hear that noise? Yes. Oh look, let's get see, obviously they've brought their equipment through here to facilitate digging out the what are they called now? I've mentioned it so many times. The ditches, the natural ditches, where the water's just found its way. So eventually all this here, look, even though it's really wet, all of this will regrow, and you have all of the see, this is a bigger section of the pond. Look at that, it's fantastic. So you'll have frogs coming here, tadpoles from, you'll see. And the clearing that's been made, with the trees that have been cut down, will create a lot of light down to this level, and you'll get a lot of flowers and plants growing, which is fantastic. Personally, I'd like to see a lot of native trees grown back into the woods, but it's fine. Look at this. This isn't at the stage where a dog walker come through here yet. I know they'll be wearing their wellies, but could do with some mulch. It'll be all right once it's the summer and it's all dried out. It'll be fine. I think what we'll have to do is get it all levelled off a little bit and shaped. But you can imagine all of the, because we're going uphill here, look, back to the gate, we're going uphill to all the water. You saw the sand level, didn't you, earlier? So the sand level, saw the water run down and run straight down to this sangland, and you can see the whole sang goes down at an angle into a corner. So all the water runs down all those ditches and runs over the surface, finds its way through to the bottom corner. So thanks for joining me on this inspection. If you enjoyed this walk, then comment, let me know what you think, and subscribe.